Yeah. And here we are again. Yeah, today just want to talk a little bit about war. On this channel we have talked about love, we have talked about esoteric things like religion, we have talked about science. This week I just want to talk a little more in depth about war itself. When I was very young, and I had a teacher, and he asked the question, why is there war? And I put up my hand thinking I knew something, and I said for ideology, and he said no. He said it is for land and resource and territory and dominion. I really believe that that's what it's all about. Just plotting your ground, this is mine, staking your claim so that no one can take your resources. And then out of that comes power. And then people are sent to war under the pretenses of politics, ideology, religion, to prop up a leader who they say is going to be benefit to the people. And so we continue to do this. And really, let's be clear about this. And despite some people thinking that, there was something divine came down and, clicked their fingers and made humans and then took a rib and made a woman, fairy tales. But it's been proven over and over again, and there's deviations and it's always changing. But let's be honest. Let's be honest about this. There is something that is called evolution, and that means early ancestors, chimp-like beings. And we are still chimp-like. We are tribal. We are warlike. We are hateful of things that we don't know or understand. And if we are going to survive, and Gaia is going to survive, and this planet's going to survive, we better get the hell over this and find spirituality, the love that is in all of us, to save this small little dot in the vastness of space. Or we are doomed to die because we use up resources, we fight each other, we go to war, and we bring extinction to the animals and the other creatures of this planet. Though I want to honor those that go to war and fight for freedom and try and end tyranny, and just maybe in certain circumstances that came to be and it happened to be the right thing to do, and those men and women gave their lives for us, still war itself, certainly of a political nature, for territory and for resources, is wrong. And retribution is wrong, and trying to get revenge we're doomed. And especially if we follow these people that push ideologies, and sometimes they even believe them, but sometimes they don't. They just use us. So I want to be clear about that. So right now there's a war going on. Several, actually. And want to know something? I could have said this 20 years ago or 20 years into the future and would probably still be true. Because us monkeys are trying to wipe each other out and tribally trying to control another group of people, another type of people, those people, warlike, and it comes out of fear. There's nothing loving about it. Now, I'm going to throw a clip in here of Professor Ambrose telling you what happened during the Second World War, and he's talking about winners and losers.
You had a European Civil War that began in 1914. There was a long armistice in that war. It finally comes to an end in 1945. In the process of coming to the end, what happens is that sweeping into Europe from the outside are the Russians and the Americans. And they meet at Torgau on the Elbe River in May of 1945, with the result that no European nation wins the European Civil War. The winners in the European Civil War are, in fact, outsiders, the Russians and the Americans, most of all the Americans.
But truthfully, in war, there is always a price to pay. And it's not just the lives that are lost, it's the repercussions of that war. So until next time, I'm just going to leave it there and ask you to stay tuned.
There's a view around the day that World War II turned out disastrously for all concerned except possibly the communists. I think one can be very positive about World War II. The most important single result is that the Nazis were crushed, the militarists in Japan were crushed, the fascists in Italy were crushed, and surely justice has never been better served.